wanted to start off. Thanks to everyone who's joined us. And I was saying on the other video we got cut off there that unfortunately our previous host, Miss Tracy Michelle, won't be able to join us, unfortunately, this evening. So bear with me as we try to do everything by ourselves, and well, not by ourselves, with the good Lord here on our side. One of the things, so I was saying, was with my good brother Antonio Ward and all the gentlemen at his church in Huntsville, Alabama, and we were talking about men's health and the importance of screening. You know, August is National Screening Month, and so the importance of this, guys, well, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, now we're talking to everybody, but what I just was talking to the gentleman at the church, I was saying, like I say to everyone else, wouldn't it be a shame if somebody died from something that was easily detectable by screening? You know, and in this developed nation, you can think what you want about it, you know, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or something else in between. But no matter what you are or what you believe in or what you represent or who represents you, this is supposed to be the most developed nation in the world. The U.S. is supposed to be number one. And if we can't get health care right, I mean, God help us. And so Telehealth Tuesday, what we're trying to do here for the community, this is a 1 hour weekly discussion. This is episode number 3. We've had 2 done. We've had an amazing time. Again, was co-hosted by Miss Tracy Michelle. Definitely appreciate all the good work that she has done and continues to do in this community here in Jackson, Mississippi. And we also, I think we talked about her events. We'll have to get her to maybe chime in at some point, or one day maybe just give us the information to put about the different drives and different events that she is personally doing. We applaud her for that great work and her team. But we're coming to you, broadcasting to you live from Jackson, Mississippi. We are representing Good Faith Wellness Center. That's a clinic that was started after much thought and prayer. Myself, Dr. Sophronia Stidwell, and also Dr. Torrance Green. Dr. Stidwell is a board-certified chiropractor, and Dr. Torrance Green is a board-certified internal medicine physician and also a nephrologist, which is a kidney specialist. So that's Good Faith Wellness Center. Question number 1, if you're taking losartan for a couple of weeks and you've seen some improvement, but I think if your blood pressure has gone back up, I think then what should we consider? What should we consider? So if you're taking losartan, you know, that's a blood pressure medicine, and you've been taking it for a couple of weeks, you've seen some improvement, but the person says it has gone back. I'm thinking their blood pressure has gone back up. What should we consider? Well, there's a lot of things. That's an excellent question. And again, please submit your questions. And if anybody wants to come on here with me, I think we can have 2 other people, so 3 in total. Feel free to come on with us. We would love to have you on there to ask your question. But most people, 100% of people have been doing it this way by submitting questions, and that's fine. So we appreciate that question about losartan. The thing is, if your blood pressure is going back up, sometimes, you know, it doesn't, as they say, the drugs don't necessarily agree, if you will, with a person. Certain drugs work better in African Americans. And that was one of the questions that was raised by the gentleman today when we were doing the talk with the brethren from the church. So losartan is an excellent drug. We have a lot of patients on that drug, millions of patients in the U.S. on that drug, a little bit safer as well than lisinopril. So it's one that I use all the time. Comes in doses 25 milligrams, 50 milligrams, and 100. And so to answer your question, Brother Antonio, if the person's blood pressure is going back up, you got to think about a couple things. Number 1, are they being compliant with that? Number 2, are they truly on that? Number 3, are they sure what dose they're taking and when they're supposed to take it? Number 4, what are their pre-existing conditions? And then number 5. Sorry, that was another question. Number 5, and also, what is their diet like? You know, what is their exercise regimen? We see Mike Partee is watching. There we go, Beth Cruz. All right, come on in. So yeah, you look at those kind of things and you say, okay, and that's why it's so important to have a good family medicine or internal medicine, basically we say primary care doctor that is looking after you and taking care of you, and one that you're being compliant with by making sure to go and see them on a regular basis. We say this National Health Screening Month, and so to making sure to come in and get those things done, making sure to get your screening done. We see some other folks have joined. Come on in. You're right on time, everybody. So yeah, with the losartan question, you would just have to, we have to get that information from the person. We'd have to make sure that they're being compliant. What other comorbidities do they have, such as diabetes, high cholesterol? Are they morbidly obese? Are they drinking a lot of sodas? Are they smoking cigarettes? So it's so many things. I like to give you some good direct answers, but it is a kind of a 2- and 3-fold question. And so it just kind of depends on what's going on. But generally speaking, that is a good drug, a safe drug. And it's something that we prescribe nearly, every day, if not every day, then weekly. So that's what I would say. We were talking with the gentleman with the church from Huntsville, Alabama. We were on a Zoom call, and we were talking about national health screening. And so a lot of gentlemen, I want to start this one off today with something pretty funny. Believe it or not, I had a guy that came today. There's a new patient referred to us from an urgent care clinic, and this brother unfortunately had a motor vehicle accident recently, and it sounded pretty bad. He was hit very hard from behind, about 70, 72 miles an hour, totaled his truck and his trailer. And so he's going through that right now. And we're going to get him also referred to Dr. Stidwell, the chiropractor, my partner in our clinic, so that he can be evaluated. But he's already had x-rays and all this other stuff. But immediately when I saw the gentleman, I saw he was one of those tough guys, contractor, got the work boots on, got the tape dispenser over here, got a hammer on here, tool belt. And so, but this is the kind of like the typical gentleman in the South, hard working, but that just unfortunately doesn't go to the doctor, has been non-compliant. So gentleman was over 60 years old. So by that time, I think everybody knows you're well due for a lot of things, whether it's either vaccines or whether you're screening colonoscopy or whatever that is, or we need to investigate anything with the prostate gland, checking the PSA level, and in certain patient population, doing a digital rectal exam and checking prostate from that perspective. And so he just hadn't had any care. And this gentleman came in with some numbness and tingling in his hands. And so we'll see what I'm kind of building this and framing it up as, this gentleman, somebody said exactly, that's right. This gentleman came in, he was most concerned about, hey, give me something for this neck pain, make this go away, this and that, and want to get a quick fix. But the other thing is, we have to keep in mind, what's concerning is the appearance of the patient. Their other complaint, like I said, with the numbness and tingling in the hands, his gait or his ability to walk was, a little bit off. And then, but the funny thing is, I'm getting at what I wanted to share with you all. This guy told me, and I told the gentleman, I said, if you don't mind, I got to share this joke with the audience tonight. He said, oh yeah, go ahead, young doctor, go ahead. And the gentleman told me, because I asked him, I said, do you smoke cigarettes? And he said, oh no, I quit that. But I could tell from my experience, I said, well, he probably does a little chewing tobacco, a little snuff. I said, you do that Skoal can, you do some Skoal? And he said, oh yeah, man, I got my can right here. And I said, well, look, I'm not going to get on you too bad because we just meeting, I'm glad for you to come here. So I'm not going to get on you. But you know that we are charged with telling people, making sure they know, obviously, that cigarettes are bad. The cigarettes are bad. And that, but certainly, the Skoal tobacco and chewing snuff is not dangerous like that. It's not leading to lung cancer like a cigarette. But even though this is still something that can cause other issues such as, mouth and throat cancer. And so the gentleman looked me square in the eye with no laughter. And he said, man, he said, well, I done already looked that up, doc. They could take a piece of skin, some skin and all this from my behind and put it on and glue me on, make me a lip. He said, so look at that. They can't make no lung out of that, but they could take from your behind and make a lip. So what he's saying is that he doesn't smoke because you can't formulate some lungs, but he's okay with getting the mouth and throat cancer because he done already researched that you can do a skin graft from your behind and form the lips. I said, man, I've never heard that in my whole life. That's crazy. Crazy as hell, to be honest with you. And that's funny. So, I don't know. It's funny to me. I don't know if y'all heard that, if y'all laughing. I see somebody out there. So I just thought that was hilarious. But the serious part of this is that this gentleman just, hadn't had any care. And this is something that, we have got to get better on this. And I know some of my colleagues, they joined me in this fight. And we appreciate all the good work that, the other gentlemen here, the other doctors and nurse practitioners and physician assistants and everybody that they're doing here. But, and even though we're only one person, but collectively we can be better. And so, but we can't do it alone, and it's not about just preaching. We need y'all to help. We need y'all to come on into the clinic, submit questions, doing telehealth. That's what we call this Telehealth Tuesday. Where else can you go in this country? And I'll make it just local. Where else can you go in Mississippi, in Jackson, Mississippi, where you can come on here and you've got medical professionals here to take your questions for free. You don't have to do no copay. You don't have to sign up for anything. Now, at some point, hopefully the good Lord is going to enlarge the territory and bring this to other audiences and bring it to other people, because we have got to get this word out. We got to show that doctors and medical providers here can be compassionate, they can be competent, and they can give a darn about you. That we don't want people feeling. A lot of people say, well, I don't go to the doctor because I know my doctor, I'm just one of many. They got 25, 30 people to see. And that's not a knock on anybody who has a full clinic, because that's a great problem to have, frankly. But the patients do have a point. It doesn't matter how good the person is. If you have a lot going on and far too many patients, it is hard to pay attention to the little, the small things, the things that people might want to talk to you about, or just the spikes and the ups and downs and the spikes in the people's labs, or their lab numbers being off. Again, not a slight against anybody or how they choose to do practice, but the way that we've designed Good Faith Wellness Center is that this is one where there is no rush. Everybody means something. Every patient is important, and anybody that knows me personally, and even to my own possible demise, we stood up for patients. We've stood up for our patients at every turn. Brother Ian Micah, what's going on, brother? I appreciate it, man. That's all love. I appreciate you. We've stood up for our patients, and there's a way to do that. I tell anybody there's a way to make money and pay the bills, but there's also a way to show the patients that you give a darn about them, and that they're not just a number. And so at Good Faith Wellness Center, that's why the three of us are there. It's a multidisciplinary practice where we have people, the three of us, who care about our patients. We demonstrated that day in and day out. We had a situation. What's going on, Michelle? We had a situation just today. We had a situation just today where somebody passed out somewhere. I don't even know the full story, but the young lady ended up in our clinic. Our chiropractor was on the job. She immediately started treating this young lady, and we found out that it wasn't that she necessarily passed out, but she got weak and fell, and she was working on another floor in the building. I believe she works in our building. We're a six-story building, and we're on the third floor in Suite 310. And she came down. Somebody said, you need to go to Good Faith Wellness, get checked out. They'll take good care of you. And so we took care of that young lady, and she's going to get a full panel of labs, a full workup, likely on tomorrow. But she's already been cared for. She's 100% alert and oriented and doing well already. Said real compassion and concern for your patients here. You know, work with out-of-state insurance. Look, that's my cousin on there, Amber Holmes Turner. I'm calling you out. We do take out-of-state. Now, sometimes we got to jump through a few hoops, but we do. I want everybody to know we do take out-of-state insurance at my personal part of the practice. You know, every provider, although with the three of us are one cohesive group, we have a little bit, you know, there's some nuances, a little bit differences in which insurances that each partner takes. But definitely my personal part of Good Faith Wellness, we take all insurances, all providers. So definitely, you know, nobody has any excuse, nobody. And are you accepting pediatric? We are accepting pediatric. That's a great question, Ms. Barnes. We are accepting pediatric patients. We've got to get some things since we're still a new clinic, not even 1 year old. We're still waiting on one of the companies here, one of the major suppliers, to get some of our point of care testing and our vaccines and medical refrigerators, certain things that you need to make sure everything is good and safe before you start giving those vaccines for children. Now, when it comes to just seeing regular visits or seeing a child, yes, I'm personally board certified in family medicine, so we are licensed to take care of anybody from, we used to say, to the cradle to the grave. You know, these days you got to be so careful. A lot of people, you know, getting easily offended. So we don't want to step on toes by saying cradle to the grave, but we take care of everything from essentially 1 year old to 101 years old. And if you live past 101, God bless you, we'll take care of you too. Cradle to the grave, somebody said. All perfect. Yeah, you can come, Amber. We have, so, you know, something that I was going to talk about. We have something called our health plans that we came up with. This is where you go to goodfaithwellnesscenter.com. $99 a month. So I signed that gentleman up today that's a contractor, because he came and he said, well, I'm really worried I don't have insurance. He didn't think that he'd be able to be seen. And we said, don't worry about it. Never, no need to fear that we have plans for you. I would say that it probably, I literally can count on one hand how many have signed up for these plans, because fortunately, and to my surprise, otherwise before today, it was only one young lady who had signed up. Everybody else that I've seen in that office, in that clinic, has had insurance, whether it's Medicare, Medicaid, or anything. And we said this last week, everybody laughed about it. We talked about Medicare, types of Medicare, WellCare, traditional Medicare, Obamacare. We talked about Your Mama Care. We talked about Jesus Care. Everybody's care, and we all care. So, but yeah, going back to the plans, $99 a month. It's just like when you have a cell phone bill, you know. I'm sure most people's cell phone bill is more than $99, right? And that ain't helping you one bit. It ain't helping you to get healthy. It ain't helping you to lose no weight. It sure ain't helping you to look no better. So $99 a month is Good Faith Wellness Center coming. That's for, me specifically. And that means unlimited visits when you come in. Now, there may be some additional costs, like because we normally do about 5 blood draws and 1 urine sample for all new patients. So a total of 6 items. And so they have different prices, and we can discuss that. That's just a one-time fee when we get your annual labs. But otherwise, and then if we do any x-rays, and we do have full digital x-ray, there's a charge for that, of course. But in terms of coming in, utilizing our services, coming in, we have massage chairs there. We have our staff there to come get your blood pressure. Anything that you need, $99 a month, unlimited visit. You could come every single day, and there would be no additional charge. $99 a month. It's an automatic charge like a cell phone, just recurring thing, and it can cancel anytime. There's no contract, none of that kind of stuff. We don't do any of that. So there's nothing, no need. There's no reason why you wouldn't. So that I wanted to make it so that nobody in this town, in this area, has any excuse not to have a doctor. So you can't say I don't have insurance. Well, you can't say that no more. You got a doctor. You've got competent doctors in our practice. You've got caring doctors, and we're going to be there for you. And then we also have $179 a month for couples and $229 a month for families. Everything is outlined on goodfaithwellnesscenter.com. And like I said, that's only if you don't have it. There's some little caveat to that. If you do have insurance, but you'd rather sign up for it, there's something, we have to, like a waiver to fill out. And so even those patients can do that as well. I think except for Medicare, Medicaid. Can you use that with private? So yeah, that's a great question. Just so you know, this is a payment, this is a health plan, but it's not medical insurance. Just want to make sure that we're clear on that this is not actual health insurance. So I tell everybody, you definitely should, even though you can get our plan and see us and we take care of all your medical needs, it's certainly not going to, take care of you if you need to go to the hospital or have serious illness or have surgery. So certainly the best thing for you as a patient, you need to have insurance. But some people are between jobs, they can't afford it. But most people usually can, $99 a month, because they spend more on that doing God knows what, going over there to City Trends or somewhere and buying some clothes, or going over there going to Popeye's chicken or whatever you do. You spending $99 a month on something else. So you can come on and do that and spend it on your health. That's a small ask for a lifetime of being healthy. Let's see here. We got some other people. We appreciate that, Rona. That's wonderful. We appreciate you. All right. T. Henderson is on there. What's going on, sis? Y'all, and come on, keep them coming with the questions. I know Antonio, he had a great question there, and somebody else. Oh, you know what I meant? There was a question that somebody asked. I think that was this morning. Forgot to include that. So, but I saw the person who asked it on here, and so the person, after having okay, there we go. We're back on. After having C-sections, is there a way to burn belly fat? I believe that was the question. So basically, is there a way to? They were asking about City Trends and Popeye. They were asking about, is there a way to lose that weight after having C-sections? And let me. And what I want to do, I meant to call one of my OBGYN friends. They have an amazing practice on the 6th floor above us. And I was speaking with one of the doctors briefly. I'm going to see if she can join us next week, one of the OBGYN, so that a lot of ladies that might have certain questions can ask that. But certainly after C-section, there's certain things that you look for depending on when the C-section was and what's going on with you and how your health is overall, and how does the wound itself look. Like I say, if we're talking about C-section years ago, your kids are in high school and middle school and all that, then we shouldn't have any worry about the wound and all that itself. You should be certainly you should have been fully healed. And so having a C-section scar or delivering the baby in that manner, no, it certainly does not prevent you from exercising and losing the weight. And in terms of being able to use all these, the popular things like the Ozempic and the Wegovys and the Moderna, all those things, and also Adipex, the pills. And we do prescribe all those things for the right patient. Like I say, when you come into Good Faith Wellness Center, and we will evaluate you and see if you're a candidate for that. Some people are not always a candidate for those particular medications. And again, we will discuss that later. So I hope that answered your question. Certainly you'll be able to be on a weight loss regimen if you've had C-section delivery. Like I said, we would just need to know when it was. Is this like a recent, you had a newborn baby? Is this a recent surgery, or are the kids, grown, or they're older, and that this is a well-healed thing? So that there should not be a connection between the fact that you had that procedure and whether you can, do some form of exercise or weight loss. Somebody said, well, you telling me I'm just fat. Well, that may be the case. Yeah, that may be the case. The person who asked that, they're not a patient. So, I can't say that, with absolute certainty, but after we had a telehealth visit at least, or we had an exam in the clinic, hey, it could just be some people we have, certain genes. Look, you know what? Let me segue into this one. This was a big one here. I said this recently. I want to dispel any rumors about being big boned. Please hear me, good people. There is no such thing as being big boned, okay? There are some people that have different structure than others. There are some people that, maybe their body structure, the density or something like that, and the mass. But in terms of saying big boned as an excuse for being heavy or fat, as you said, Ashley, absolutely not. The bones of the people who say that compared to the bones of another adult human being are going to be the same. Now, if we were talking about a gorilla or some other type of animal compared to your bones, then absolutely the skeletal structure and the density and the composition of the bones is different. But no ma'am and no sir. Most people, the weight gain, with the exception of those that may have a hypothyroidism, the thyroid condition, and some other issues. There's some other social and personal things like depression that are real conditions that do cause people to gain weight out of sadness and overeating and all that. I'm not talking about that. If we're talking about just the regular patient who's out there working, taking care of their kids, going to church, different things like that, and they just enjoy some good meals every day. They enjoy that fried chicken, they enjoy that sweet tea, then the portion size in America is too darn large. So the reason why people say, Dr. Bookhardt, I just can't lose weight. Well, what are you doing? What's your eating regimen like? Because I'm pretty sure you're not limiting that to 1,600 calories, a diabetic diet. It's just not happening. That ain't got nothing to do with your bones. You just got to push away from the table. So there's a certain amount of ounces, that so basically when you go to a cafeteria or you go to certain places and you notice sometimes at hospitals, they got that little ice cream scoop and they put that small scoop of rice or grits or mashed potato. That's because that is the recommended amount of food to eat at one time. But a lot of times, and especially in the South, people will come on and they'll say, man, that ain't enough. You cheating me. And so the people have gotten used to it, even at some hospitals I've worked at, where they'll pile the plate up where the food is literally running off. You can't even contain the food on one plate. You got to get another plate for the other sides and stuff. And that's ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous, don't it? Because it is ridiculous. So if you're shoveling all that food into yourself, of course, there's no way you're going to be able to lose some weight. And again, it ain't got nothing to do with your bones. So, let's see here. We got Miss Victoria. Oh, we got a praise testimony. Lost 6 pounds since I saw you last week. I wish there was a little thing for the little hand claps. I don't want to mess this up. So maybe somebody else can put them on there and do the hand clap, the little emoji. But I'm so proud of you. And we are thankful that you came to the clinic. I see you. We were so glad to see you. I know you posted a picture of us on your social media, so we are grateful that things are already coming in line for you, losing weight already, and I'm excited for what the future holds for you and all of our other patients as well. Let's see. Do we offer nutrition plans? Excellent question. So we don't right now have a plan. Well, I personally, Dr. Stidwell, who's a chiropractor, does do some direct nutritional support. But my personal plans are for the clinic. We've been talking with a dietitian locally here, talking with another particular person who's a personal trainer and also does talks around the city and at UMC. We've been discussing with her, and then she has a meal prep person and a coach that they all kind of come as a package deal. So we're working some things out in logistics so that we can involve them, and so that will be part of our, I guess, if you will, nutrition plan. But right now, what I tell people is when they ask about nutrition or weight loss, I talk about weight loss and nutrition for all patients anyway. But if it's a person who's specifically like, they're coming just for that, like they know they want to get Ozempic or they know they want to be on Adipex, we certainly do that. We still have to run some basic labs and check their liver function, check their kidney function. So not direct nutrition plans right now, but we incorporate that, But in the next couple of months or so, we will have that with a nutrition team, with a dietitian and all those things, and a personal trainer will be offering packaged services and deals like that. Also, IV hydration soon to come. And then something that might be a little bit more controversial, but, is certainly needed. And this, we are certainly way past time for medical marijuana. It's something that's needed. It's time for it, and we're going to do it. Let's see. I'm seeing you. DoorDash on speed dial. Okay. All right. There we go. Let's see. Will you please explain how the telehealth appointments work? Does it matter if you don't live in Jackson, Mississippi? That was a great question from Dr. Lily James. I think I know her a little bit. We're related a little bit. But that's an excellent question. The telehealth appointments can be done anywhere in the world. You could be on a cruise. You could even, maybe if you got the money and you want to be like the Tesla guy, go and get in one of those rockets and go to another galaxy or something. But hey, as long as you got signal and Wi-Fi or some type of a cell phone service and you can connect, then we can connect. So telehealth, telemedicine appointments, that's just what they are. We use Zoom technology, and we're able to connect with you. We set an appointment time. We can bill through your insurance. Like I said, the only thing we can't do is physically examine you, obviously, because we're not in the same area of vicinity, and we can't draw your blood since you're not there. But in terms of doing overall annual exam, that is acceptable for jobs and different things, life insurance policies and things like that. If you have a doctor who can actually write a note on you, which we write a comprehensive note still, and we have the diagnoses on there, we're able to look at you on the camera and we can see if there's anything that we're visibly concerned about, then that counts as a full annual exam. And like I say, the only thing that would be missing, we would need the labs, but what we can do is we can order them. You tell us what lab or hospital that you prefer. We call and we write a requisition, we write it out and we send it over. So you can actually still get the labs done. Let's see, Miss Donna, we got Barbara, everybody's on. Good evening, everyone. Awesome job, that's right. Yep, she did an awesome job at 6 pounds down. That is awesome. That is awesome. Jennifer's on here, what's going on? Then I wanted to, before we got on 7:45, we got 15 minutes. I wanted to just open up the floor to any other questions or comments. We didn't have as many presented today, but we got a couple of testimonies here and some other things, so that gave us some time to discuss that. We need to come talk to you when you come back okay, well, we are always ready. We are always love to talk with folks and talk with the students, schools, churches. We've done all that as part of our ministry. So we'd be glad to do that. Be glad to do that. Like I said, we want to say thank you to Brother Antonio Ward. Had a great time visiting with his church members and his pastor. They're in Huntsville, Alabama. So we were on Zoom tonight at 6 o'clock, approximately 6:15, and talking with these gentlemen about the need and the importance of screening since it's National Screening Month, August. And I'm telling you, man, this is something that, again, we've had a lot of people that joined us a little bit later, and that's okay because you're right on time. And this will be saved as well, archived to Facebook. So I think that link I sent out actually takes you to the live. It takes you there once the live is ended. We're still new to all this live stuff, but what we're going to do in the coming weeks is we'll get on there and we'll most likely do it via Zoom, StreamYard. There's a couple other different ways that the pros do it, and so we're going to quickly. This is our third episode and the first one that we've done without Miss Tracy Michelle. So you'll see next week, and we may have a very special guest joining us. Well, we will have definitely one, and there may be another celebrity guest. So you want to stay tuned every Tuesday at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, sharp, 7 to 8 p.m., where we will feature different guests. At some point, we'll most likely have a full full-time host for our show. And that will be announced at a later date. We've got some things cooking. We've got somebody who's really interested in working with us. But in the meantime, we'll try our best to hold it down. Yours truly. And we'll have some guests there. We've got a physician coming up who's an anesthesiologist. We've got a lawyer coming that's going to help us. We've got my partners have agreed to come on and help us. Dr. Stillwell, a chiropractor, will be on here with us so we can talk about what she does on her side of the clinic as well. Fantastic things are going on. And like I say, this is the only place, the only clinic, the only practice in Jackson, Mississippi in this area. Oh, the New Life. I'm sorry. You're right, brother. I don't know how I kept forgetting that. New Life Worship Center. I'm sorry about that because I went to school in Huntsville. I kept thinking about it. And I didn't want to say because, I didn't attend New Life. I was usually at Oakwood or Madison Mission. And then there was a couple other fantastic churches there. But we want to recognize New Life Worship Center giving us the call and the opportunity to speak with them on tonight at 6 p.m. earlier. That's why we were just a few minutes late getting on, logging on today. I see Brother Kenoy Brown is on here. The man with the plan, brother. We appreciate you joining. I know you normally have a couple of excellent questions for us, man. I'm gonna hold it down for you until let me see what he typed. This brother's dynamic, and he's always got something very interesting. Tanya Boyd Cannon, celebrity psalmist, just has joined us. Big shout out there, Reverend Boyd. His church is out there in Jackson, Reverend Boyd. And we appreciate seeing Ms. Tanya Boyd Cannon, Mr. Kenoy Brown. We recognize New Life Worship Center, Brother Antonio Ward, your pastor. And we're going to be going back and doing some more exciting things with New Life Worship Center. Before we left earlier tonight, we talked about it. And they said, we're going to bring you back. And I said, look, I'd love to come back and look, I'm going to hold it down here. We still got another 10 minutes. Kano, I know you got something good for us, brother. I'm waiting on you. In the meantime, I wanted to say the topic of this, we were with the good brother Doug Williams a few weeks ago at their retreat. And the topic that we spoke about, and I called it an annual exam or a ticket to the grave. The choice is yours. And what I meant by that, and we talk about National Screening Month, all you got to do is come on. Okay, there we go. I got you, Antonio. All you have to do is come, do your annual exam, come see your doctor. And that, for the most part, unless you got some terrible pre-existing condition, for that small subset of people that have something that we just cannot help with, and we can only just turn it over to the Lord and wait on Him. But unless you're in that population, which is not most people, if you're coming in and getting your annual exam, we can screen you for most things. Most things are preventable, most are preventable or at least treatable. And so that's why I say an annual exam or a ticket to the grave, the choice is yours. People say, well, I don't feel comfortable going to the doctor. Well, ain't no excuse because you got doctors now that look like you, right? If we're talking about a black person saying that, you got doctors that look like you. I don't feel comfortable going, if it's a man, I don't feel comfortable going to a female doctor. Well, I'm right here with you, brother. We're here. And if it's vice versa, some ladies may say that, or when it comes to the OBGYN and all that stuff, we're here to see everybody. And children, somebody asks about kids. So nobody really has an excuse. And these things are so easy to pick up. Diabetes is easy to diagnose with one lab, hemoglobin A1C, or you can straight up really just get a blood sugar or glucose. And if it's at a certain level, even a random glucose, meaning just any part throughout the day, if it's a certain, like if it's this high, most likely you will have diabetes, if it reaches this number. So, but an A1C, we're actually getting new technology in the clinic to have a point of care A1C machine right there. And when you do your finger stick, it'll give you your results right there in 3 minutes. And you'll know in 3 minutes whether you have diabetes or not. That's amazing. That's amazing. So that's why I say an annual exam or a ticket to the grave, the choice is yours. If you want a ticket to the grave, by all means, you stay away from the doctor. Don't get screened. Keep doing everything you're doing. We don't want you to choose that, but if that's what you choose, it's a ticket to the grave. if you come on in, there we've got the ability to help you. You know, the good Lord, we're going to pray with our patient. We're going to work things out. We're going to use the latest treatment methods and modalities. And, that's just what we do. And we need y'all to come in. And again, we try to alleviate the reason for people to say, well, I have no way to see a doctor. I have no insurance. Well, we talked about that earlier. For those that just joined us in these final 7 minutes, we have plans for you. This is no substitute for insurance, but $99 a month is especially, there's my brother. Charles is on there. What's going on, brother? So, $99 a month for an individual, $179 for couples, $229 for a family of 4 individuals. That means you can come see us an unlimited number of times, right? It's a recurring fee, so every month it's going to charge your bank account. But in that month, you can see us unlimited, right? That means every doggone day, every single day, if you needed to come in there and just come and holler at us, come and shoot the breeze, just come in there and get on the scale and get your vital signs and walk out, you can do all of that. No extra charge. The only extra charge is that annual exam, when we do the blood work. If you have diabetes, we'll need to do an A1C every 3 months until we get you under control. And then if we, any additional tests, like when we send you out for mammograms or if we do a CAT scan or MRI, stuff like that. But we have full x-ray capability in the office. So that would be a separate charge for that one time. But otherwise, just $99 a month for an individual. And you come see us every day, Monday through Friday. At some point, we may, depend on the demand and need for walk-in appointments, we may start doing something on a Saturday once a month, something like that. But yeah, this is our life's work. I'm there. Dr. Stidwell is there, chiropractor. Dr. Torrance Green. We are here for you. You can find us at goodfaithwellnesscenter.com. You can go to Facebook, Good Faith Wellness Center. Go to Instagram, Good Faith Wellness Center. The live I'm posting on my personal page, but like I said, in the coming days and weeks, we'll do it a different way and get other software where we'll be able to broadcast through YouTube and all that, and so you'll be able to just directly go to it, access it that way. But for right now, we're utilizing Facebook Live, and we appreciate Facebook for that. We appreciate this platform, being able to come to you and speak to you all. And we've had such an outpouring of support. I see my brother on there. I see my sister. I see family. My mother's there, cousin, good people. We also, again, one more time, we want to recognize the New Life Church in Huntsville, Alabama. Pastor Nelson Stokes presiding there. Pastor Stokes, Antonio Ward. We appreciate that opportunity earlier. We see, again, Tanya Boyd Cannon, our celebrity music artist there. We got to get you on here. All right. Next month, we got to get you on here. And no, it's not an answer, not an option. Mr. Kenoy Brown, we always like to see you, brother. We appreciate everything you're doing in the community. Would love to get with you and on your platform. We work together. We appreciate Miss Rona Huey. We appreciate that. We see everybody here. Octavius here, Antonio. Oh, absolutely. And look, man, this is tough for me because anybody who knows me personally, I'm not one of those, hey, look at me, look what I'm doing, come follow me. That's not my personality, you know me. I just like to be behind the scenes, get the job done and do a darn good job for my patients. It is my life's work. And, but I recognize that this day and age, it's what you got to do. You have to do this to make sure people know what you're doing in the community. This is a service. Nobody here is getting paid. I can guarantee you that. Not looking for it. We're just here giving this time because, I care about my community. My partners care. We care about you all. And, I'll just end on that note. Somebody asked me, well, what is it that makes you different than any other doctor, right? What is it that about Good Faith Wellness Center? What is it about Dr. Bookhardt that makes you any different than anybody else? And what I'll tell you is that we've proven it. Even when it comes to my own possible demise, people know I won't go into detail on this particular hospital and what happened, but yeah, there was a case, where African Americans are being disparaged, as we usually are a lot of places. And there was a maniac doctor that was working there who was indirectly killing people. And I said, we're not standing for it. Not going to stand for it. I don't care if these people are black, broke, busted, and disgusted. It don't matter. Everybody is a VIP. And I've told anybody that, from CEOs of hospitals to presidents or whatever. I don't care who you are. You could be a senator, you could be a commissioner, a city councilman, you could be a bum on the street. Everybody is going to get a fair shake here. There's no judgment, and there's no such thing as VIP. Because if it is, then that means everybody's a VIP. And I believe that with all my heart. And you can put that on everything, on God. So that's what we've done. We've demonstrated it. And even though it ended up in things not working out at this particular facility, I knew that we stood on business, as people say, and I knew that I could sleep well at night knowing that I stood up for our people. And that's all it is. And so whatever happened from there, I really wasn't concerned with that, because we stood up for our people, and we care. And so I would say that's the difference. You're not going to get rushed out. You're always going to be treated like a person. There's not going to be any judgment. We can laugh together, embrace each other, cry together, and might even get a little stern here and there, but it's only because of I love what I do, and we love our patients. We want the best for you. And again, National Screening Month, there's no reason why anybody should die from reversible conditions, treatable conditions. If you got diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, HIV, anemia, it don't matter. Even if you have cancer or you don't have cancer, you're worried about it, your family history, all of those are reasons to come on in. All of those are reasons to come to Good Faith Wellness Center, 2506 Lakeland Drive, Flowood, Mississippi, 39232, area code 769-487-6036. 769-487-6036 is our phone number. Good Faith Wellness Center at gmail.com. Or actually, don't use that one. Use info@goodfaithwellnesscenter.com. Info@goodfaithwellnesscenter.com. You can also self-schedule appointments at goodfaithwellnesscenter.com. Go on there, put in your insurance information or whatnot, everything you can schedule. You'll get a call, a confirmation, and everything is done. And so we'll leave you with this. Thank you all for attending. We, God willing, right back here next week, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, the only place where you can go and get free advice. Free meaning you ain't got to pay, free. And free medical advice. Ask whatever question you want. We are prepared for it. We're going to go off the cuff, and we are ready. Submit your questions. Send them to me, please. Send them to Good Faith Wellness Center. Email them to us, info@goodfaithwellnesscenter.com. We will go over them on next week, Tuesday. Telehealth Tuesday, 7 p.m. Please tell a friend. And remember, true wealth begins with good health. Have a good night.